Have you ever looked up at the night sky and just wondered about the stories hidden up there? Well, today we're diving into one of the most powerful ones, the ancient tale of Dhruva. It's an incredible story about a boy whose determination was so strong, it literally moved the heavens and put him right up there among the stars.
So that's the big question, right? How does a young boy go from being completely rejected by his own father to becoming a fixed point of light for the entire cosmos? Well, it all starts with one single, painful moment that pretty much ignited a fire inside him.
Our story kicks off in the court of King Otanpad. Now, his kingdom was doing just fine, but his family life, it was a mess, totally divided by favoritism.
Okay, so this lays out the whole family drama. On one side, you've got Queen Suniti and her son Dhruva. They were the first wife and son, the rightful heirs, but they were neglected, practically pushed out of the palace. Then on the other side, you have Queen Suruchi and her son Uttam, who were the king's favorites, and got to enjoy, all the royal perks. This huge imbalance is really the seed for everything that's about to happen. All Dhruva wanted was just a simple, normal moment with his dad. He sees his younger half-brother, Uttam, playing on the king's lap, and, well, he's just a 5-year-old kid. He naturally tries to do the same thing. But the king, completely terrified of upsetting his favorite wife, actually pushes him away.
And if that wasn't bad enough, his stepmother, Suruchi, sees the whole thing and openly mocks him. She tells him the only way he could ever earn that right was to go worship Lord Vishnu, the supreme preserver of the cosmos, and pray that he gets reborn as her son. I mean, what a cruel thing to say to a child, right? But those words, well, they unintentionally set him on his true path.
Completely heartbroken, Dhruva runs to his mother. And this single moment of rejection, this really deep pain, becomes the spark for an absolutely unbelievable quest for something much, much greater than just a king's affection.
His mother, Suniti, gives him this amazing advice. Instead of letting him just sit there feeling jealous, she tells him to take his stepmother's words seriously, but to do it for his own growth. She urged him to point all that sorrow towards the highest power in the universe, Lord Narayan, another name for Vishnu, who she said could heal any wound. And this is a really key insight. She taught him how to turn that need for someone else's approval into a search for his own inner strength.
And he did it. Right then and there, this 5-year-old prince walks out of the kingdom and into the forest all alone, with just one goal in his mind. And it's there that he meets the celestial sage Narada Muni, who's about to become his guide.
Now, Narada, he was this wise sage known for testing the resolve of, gods and mortals alike. So at first, he tries to talk the boy into just going home. But he couldn't shake Dhruva's determination. He was so impressed, he realized this was no ordinary kid. So he gave him the tools for his journey, a crystal clear mental image of Lord Narayan to focus on, and a really powerful mantra to chant.
So, armed with this divine guidance, Dhruva travels to a forest called Madhuban, and there, by the holy Yamuna River, he begins a penance so intense, its power would soon be felt across the entire cosmos.
I mean, just look at the sheer intensity of his focus. The first month, he's only eating roots. The second, just dried leaves. By the 4th month, he was surviving on nothing but air. And then, finally, he stopped breathing altogether, just standing on one leg, his mind completely absorbed. This wasn't about punishing himself. It was about shedding every single external distraction to get to a state of pure internal concentration. So get this, his meditation became so powerful that when he held his breath, he was pretty much holding the breath of the entire universe. The balance of the cosmos was thrown off, and the gods, totally terrified, ran to Lord Narayan for help. In response to this incredible, universe-altering display of devotion from a small child, well, the Supreme Being himself decided it was time to step in. And so Lord Narayan appeared, and Dhruva, just completely overwhelmed at the sight of the very being he'd been meditating on, just burst into tears. He couldn't even speak. The Lord, so moved by his pure devotion, blessed him. And here's the twist. Dhruva started this whole journey just wanting his father's affection, but by the time he met the Lord, his heart was so pure he didn't want anything anymore. The Lord, though, he not only fulfilled his original wish, but promised him a place in the heavens of unparalleled importance, a fixed celestial home. So Dhruva returned to his kingdom. But he wasn't the same hurt little boy. He was now this figure of immense spiritual power and grace. His father, seeing this massive change in him and knowing he had God's grace, immediately welcomed him and made him the new king. And Dhruva went on to rule with incredible wisdom and compassion.
According to the Puranas, the ancient texts that tell these stories, he ruled the earth for an astonishing 36,000 years. And the real proof of his enlightened nature came when his half-brother Uttam was later killed. Instead of seeking revenge, Dhruva chose forgiveness, showing the true wisdom he'd gained. And after his long reign was over, he ascended to the sky to claim that eternal home he was promised. He became Dhruv Tara, the pole star, the one constant, unmoving point of light that all the other stars seem to revolve around.
So, after this epic journey, from a palace floor to the highest point in the heavens, what's the ultimate takeaway from this powerful legend? What's the big lesson here?
Well, the story of Dhruva is really a timeless lesson for all of us. It teaches us that our deepest wounds can actually be a catalyst for incredible growth. It shows that real power isn't about getting revenge or being envious of others, but about channeling all of your energy and focus into your own highest purpose. Ultimately, the legend of Dhruva isn't just a story about the stars. It's kind of a mirror for our own lives. It asks us to think about it. What's our pole star? What's that single, unwavering goal that can guide us through the darkness? Because as Dhruva's journey shows, from a cold palace floor to the heart of the cosmos, finding that purpose is how you become a constant light in your own universe.